Hello, Pokemon fans. This is Blake Trout here, and I'm here to bring you your PCBL 9 draft analysis. Yep, Season 9, baby. Finally coming here. I don't know when it's starting. Maybe in a week, maybe in a couple days. I don't really know. Probably going to be next week. But it's pretty lit right now, and I'm very happy with this draft pick. Not really. Actually, it's kind of weird. It's a whole team of misfits, and I like that. So, yeah, this draft was probably the hardest draft I ever had to do. We only had 400 Pokemon to work with. We also had to split our teams into two different draft pools, meaning that we're part of the Intrepid draft pool, Intrepid division. And it's great. No, it's not. It's great. Every team so far on both Dauntless, Intrepid, even D-League is looking like some fire. And I like that. I wish we would do this for every season now. Because it'd just be crazy. But we probably won't. Especially with the DLC coming out later. So, I'm not going to lie, this was a very hard draft to make. So we're going to probably talk about each and every single one separately and give my read for each and how I kind of feel and what's important. That's really just all we're going to do. Alright, so round one was very touch and go. I got sniped by Haz, of course. I mean, who else? And I really need to decide on something because I was sort of focused on trying to beat Dracovish or try to have some type of defensive option. So my first round pick was Rotom Wash, which is, I'm not going to lie, it could have been any of the Rotoms and they probably would have made a fit, but I did Rotom Wash because it only has the least amount of weaknesses and it has Levitate. So we have no ground type issues, and that's cool. I like that. I'm not mad about it. I'm not going to talk about it, and that's really it. And I'm going to just... my phone over there going off like crazy. No one leaving messages, so I don't really pick it up. So the thing with Rotom Wash is that it has Nasty Plot now, so I can make it specially attacking if I wanted to. Mostly it has defenses. It now has both screens, but it probably had that the whole time and I didn't think about it. It has Willow and Thunder Wave, so it can do a lot of things that it needs to do in a defensive case or as a support role. So it's a great support Pokemon, and it can be an offensive option if I want it to be, and I'm just glad that I have it here. Not only that, it's just a very good Pokemon in Draft League format in general, so it's a good staple. Oh yeah, it also gets Volt Switch. I totally forgot about that too. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. Pretty easy and simple. Okay, so round 2 had me up on a wall because I wanted to make a Fairy Dragon Steel Core first, but I sadly had to make a Fire Water Grass Core instead. Cinderace is actually a pretty nice option here because I really was trying to see something or find something fast. I didn't really know what I could pick up. I was thinking of getting Arcanine or so later on in rounds 4 through 6, but it didn't matter. I think Arcanine got picked up around round 6 or 7. And Shandy was also another option. But Cinderace has some pretty good abilities. And it's a really good utilitarian in a way. It's got Bulk Up, it's got Court Change, it also has Taunt, U-Turn, so I can make a Voltorn core. Zen Headbutt's got decent coverage moves that are helpful. I kind of wish it had like the elemental punches, but it doesn't have that. It got Fire Punch, but that's really all it has. It has Electro Ball, which is kind of useless because it has like 70 special attack, I think. 70? No, 65, that's even worse. Stat distribution is okay. Speed's nice. Attack's really nice. It gives me those reminders of a whole, oh, hey, this reminds me of like Infernape-based stats, but its speed's better, its attack's slightly better, I think. But it's more physical than special. It has Libero, but that's a hidden ability that's unreleased, so I can't use it. And it's tier 1. Nothing you can really do about that anyways, but still, decent mod with Core Change, so I really don't have to worry too much about hazard removal. I can just switch it, or if someone has stuff like screens, switch him, we can take it from him, or them. It's great, actually. So it's a pretty decent pick that has a lot of possibilities, but I'm not too sure I can really bring it out. We're just going to have to wait and see. Duraludon was pretty much another pick that was more focused on, oh, we gotta stop Dracovish, but it's really not that great. I realize that now later on, but Duraludon has really great special attacking potential. Its abilities are Light Metal, Heavy Metal, and Stalwart. Stalwart's great because it does ignore the effects of abilities and moves that draw in moves. So moves like Lightning Rod or anything like that. Lightning Rod, Storm Drain, stuff that draws in moves or whatever, like abilities that, like Lightning Rod. Lightning Rod, Storm Drain. Moves like Follow Me won't work. So that's why Stalwart's a good ability. I think Stalwart also ignores Trick Room to a point, but other than that, it's pretty good. I like Dorludon's typing, you know. Steel Dragon's actually really nice. I said Dialga's typing. Only loses to ground and fighting. Very coverable on my team, especially fighting portion. Not only that, it has great defense, great special attack. It's actually got the same stat distribution mix as Togekiss does. It's just that it's in different places. Special attack is 120, just like Togekiss. Defense is instead of special defense at 115. Special defense is its worst asset. So special attackers are my issue, and special attacking ground types, which there aren't many of, honestly. And its speed's 85, which means I can Scarf it if I wanted to. And it also has Body Press as a move usage, Steel Beam, Dark Pulse, Draco, usual attacks for special, and some physical usage if I wanted to really use it that way. Body Press is great because of defense. It's something I can totally take advantage of at one point in time. So it's got some coverage. Not great coverage, but decent enough coverage for me to make it useful. Okay, so round 4, I wanted to complete my Fairy Dragon Steel Core by just using Togekiss. It was either going to be Togekiss or Sylveon, really. That was what my round 4 felt like, because that's what I was sort of scared of at the time being. But this might be like the last pick where I was just drawing at straws, picking at straws at this point. The cool thing about Togekiss is that it doesn't have Hazard Rule anymore. No more Defog, sadly. It still has its abilities. It has Morning Sun instead of Roost. And it has Wish Protect still. So Wish Protect still a combo. I can still use it for whatever purposes I want to use it for. It has great special attack. It has no more Tailwind, I think. Nope, no Tailwind. It has Tri-Attack now, so that's cool. Not many moves changed. It's got Play Rough, but that's useless. So really, it's just the same thing, but I can really use the thing of a cannon or a tank if I wanted to. 120 special attack is something not to sneeze at. It's a Pokemon I'm very familiar with and know how to use to my will or my whims. So we can make this thing a Scarfing attacker or do a pair of flinching set and take advantage of that. I have Pokemon that have Thunder Wave in its arsenal, and we can just totally make havoc with that. I could also do a Super Luck Scope Lens set that just gives me a 50% chance to just hit a crit and just knock opponents out. So yeah, this thing could be a wall breaker if it wants, or a very great defensive support when I need it. Okay, so we're moving on to round 5, and I'm going to say this is where my picks start to become gaining momentum. So rounds 5 through 8 is pretty much where I think I picked my best mons in this one. The cool thing about Delmise, it has the ability Steelworker, so you know it's going to have at least a Steel type stab on top of that. Therefore, moves like Anchor Shot, Iron Head, Gyro Ball, they're going to do some serious damage. Heavy Slam, if it's heavy enough, can do some damage. I got Liquidation now, which is actually pretty cool. Good Fire type coverage. Shadow Claw, Swords Dance if I wanted to. I also have Rapid Spin, so that's even better. Not only that, I kind of needed a Grass type, something to give me a great ground immunity. Not ground immunity, but a ground resistance, because I think with the first 4 picks I had, they all lose to Mold Breaker Excadrill. I'm not even joking. Jermoy's going to clap me because of that. But Delmise definitely keeps that in check, and I'm glad I have that on my team. Plus, if this got taken, I would have probably gone for Trevenant or Gourgeist. So I'm kind of glad I got this one instead, and no one really took it around round 5. I was just nervous, because if it did get taken, I would have went with my round 6 and 7 afterwards, and then round 8 would get Trevenant or Gourgeist, depending on the situation. But I'm glad I got Delmide, so it was nice not getting sniped and just getting what I needed. And it's got really great stats anyhow. It's great defense, good defense, about over 100. Special defense is okay. Special attack is not the best, but it has something. But I'd rather just do physical, like 131 attack. That hits hard. That's wall breaker strength, and that is something I want to take advantage of in the next games or the next 12 weeks. So I'm actually kind of excited getting to use Delmise for the first time. Okay, so Obstagoon was the 6th round pick, and I think is really a good crux of the whole draft for me. I was really thinking about getting Obstagoon ever since around round 5. Because I was thinking, oh, you know what? Obstagoon would really fit on this team. This team actually does struggle with no defense against ghost types, but now we got one. We have a ghost immunity, we have a psychic immunity, and a dark resistance, which is something I'm very happy that we got. This mon does lose to bug, fairy, and fighting, but we have definite fighting type immunities and resistances, and a pretty good fairy type resistance in Cinderace, so we're safe there. Obstagoon has a very good stat distribution. 93 HP is very nice. 90 attack's okay, but we can work with it. Defense is 101, so that's actually really good. Special defense is okay, and speed's 95. And 95 is a good speed. You can scarf that up, and that outspeeds a lot of the metagame anyways. If it was like 101, it would have been perfect, but it's good enough. Not only that, it has 3 amazing abilities: Reckless, Guts, and Defiance. I'm most likely going to use the Guts and Defiance sets maybe, but Reckless means that moves like Double Edge and moves that can do recoil are going to have a little bit more of a boost in power, meaning that like, Double Edge is 120, and if you add the 1.2 boost, what's 20% of 120? Half of that's 60, and then, I don't know, I think if you divide that by 5, it's 60. You add 60 points or something? No, not 60 points. 6 points? I don't know. Well, it's going to be more, but then if you give it Guts, then I can give it a Flame Orb, and the cool... I think I have Switcheroo on this thing, don't I? I do, so I can use it. So give it like Switcheroo, Close Combat, a Facade, and a Dark-type move, and this thing's going to just take lives. And it's cool because with Guts, Facade's going to do double. It's going to be a 140 base power move off of that alone, and added with Stab, that's 210. That's going to knock out a lot of things. And I have one idea that's even better. Defiant, that made me go through the roof when I got it. And I'm like, I was doing this over a max raid, and I got a hidden ability Obstagoon, and I realized, holy crap, this thing has Defiance. Therefore, its attack stats are raised for each of its stats lowered. So you could do a Scarf Defiant Obstagoon, give it Close Combat, put it in a situation where it's probably got no fighting type resistances, and use it, and then when it's going to switch on to something else, it's like, you don't take it that well. Well, guess what? Now it's raised its attack stat by 4, because 1, it gets a double boost, or it gets a 2 times boost from the drop of the defense, and another +2 boost from the drop of special defense. So 2 stats drop, boom, it gets +4. So in 2 close combats, I'm gonna sweep. That's crazy. That is actually crazy, and I love that. I can't wait to try to take advantage of that. Oh man, that'd be amazing to just use that. I really can't wait to use Obstagoon, and I feel like it's going to be one of the crux mons of my team. I love Obstagoon. It's probably my favorite Generation 8 Pokemon, and I really love it. Okay, so round 7. My Mon pick was Toxtricity. Now, the reason why I picked Toxtricity was I was going to go for Espeon, because I thought, I would like another special attacker, because at this range, we're kind of half and half here. But instead, with Toxtricity, I'm like, I don't want another ground type weakness. But when I think about it, I won't really need to use it all the time. But for Poison, we have another great fairy type resistance, and possible synergy between that and Cinderace, where it has a nice Volturn core. Yep, another Volturn core that's possible between Toxtricity and Cinderace. But with Toxtricity, it has the ability Punk Rock, where I think it hits a good boost on sound power moves, I think 1.2 or 1.3 times, but it takes half damage from sound moves. So Hyper Voice, Bug Buzz, you're only doing half. So that's a good defense to have. You can also give this thing Throat Spray and increase its special attack. Its stat distribution is actually not that bad, except its speed's pretty meh, and its bulk is pretty underwhelming. But Electric Poison only really loses to Psychic, Ground. That's it. It only loses to 2 types of typings. Plus, it gets Shift Gear in its amped form, where that actually increases its attack and doubles its speed to the point where it's not even an issue anymore speed-wise. Not only that, it also has really great special attack. 114 is pretty good. I mean, shoot, add a Specs to it, Wall Breaker. Add a Scarf to it, you got a nice speedy attacker. With Electric and Poison, where Electric really only gets stopped by electric immunities such as Ground, and Poison, which is stopped by only Steel. And you can even get around Steel. You get Fire type for coverage, Drain Punch for coverage, so Physical even has usability. Nuzzle to paralyze, or you can take advantage of the Punk Rock ability and use Overdrive and Boom Burst to just destroy. And that's really another great one. It even has Taunt on top of that with Toxic. So I can do whatever I want with Toxtricity. I can make it physical or special. A nice mod I could probably not do a mix, but a mod where I can just decide it like it's day and night. And that is something I'm very happy that I can start with. Okay, so round 8, I went with another familiar Pokemon on my team. I would like to call it Durant. Yep, The reason why I picked up Durian is I wanted another speedster and something that had really good typing. Bug Steel's great because, well, it is. It only loses to one type, and that's easily coverable with at least 2 mons in this list. Not only that, it also can basically hit a lot of things. You know, it can hit dark types, psychic types. It can use the steel hit to hit fairy types pretty hard. I can really get this thing going with just a nice boost. Hustle is a very great ability for it. Issue though is that no home clause means I can't take full advantage of Hustle the way I want. But it does get a nice cool move called First Impression, which means it gets straight priority. And think about a banded priority. Think of banded priority. So choice banded, priority, First Impression. That actually is great. That's a good thing. That's something I really would expect out of Galissapod, but instead, no, I can give this thing for a mod that's faster and can hit hard. Not only that, it has now it finally gets stamped Stopping Tantrum, which in its own way is actually a great form of coverage for its issues. So hell, I can give it the Blunder policy for its misses, and that means it'll just be ridiculously fast. Then Stopping Tantrum just does double the damage, so it's going to be a 150 base ground type move that can knock out some mons with its power. Not only that, it doesn't really get anything else. So you can do a banded set or a scarf set that could do something, or a life orb if you wanted to. Metal Burst. If Metal Burst fails, boom, you can just activate what you need to activate and just hit hard. It's wild. I mean, I don't think it has anything else good move-wise, but anyhow, it's still pretty nice. And Durian's just something that's straightforward. It can hit hard and move fast, and it has enough defensive bulk to kind of take a hit at least, and it can work into my favor. And that's really just a Pokemon I've always found to be reliable. I mean, last season I swept 1 with this, and I think that I could probably do it again with another team. Alright, so rounds 9 through 12 is kind of where the momentum to me kind of died, because I had to pick up T3s, and that entire T3 tier is sad. I swear, Tangle Boost be smoking that leaf making this tier. But other than that, it's chill. I picked up Ditto for the first time ever. And I'm not going to lie to you, I think I know why I did it. Looking at the teams that I'm seeing in PCBL at the time being made, especially for my division, they are some scary Pokemon, some scary teams, against some scary players I don't beat that often. So, Ditto is a perfect wild card to use to keep other people in check. I love its ability, Imposter. You know Imposter's good. That means I'm going to either do a Scarf, Life Orb, or whatever I want with whatever Pokemon is out there. Just got to know how to play off it very well. And it's going to force people to prep against it, or prep off it. So, if they're going to do setup, they know I can go Ditto with the Scarf and just ruin their day. And that's what I'm trying to plan on. And not only that, Swoobat is... Oh wait, we can't talk about Swoobat yet. Oopsies. But yeah, with Ditto, it's a lit thing. Really, there's not much else to talk about it. Just that it can transform and be good at stopping certain setup options. Or heck, anything. I can counter almost anything I want with Ditto by being them and make things worse for my opponent. Just a straightforward pick that's actually a bit more unique to and outside of my learn set, or what I usually do. Okay, so Swoobat is the 10th pick. I'm not going to lie, it has 2 good abilities, Unaware and Simple, but Simple is probably better for it if I can do some easy setup. Easy setup means I get that double boost, and Nasty Plot is something that now learns in this generation, so now I can get a +4 boost in special attack out of nowhere. And it hits extremely not hard because it has 77 base special attack. But it does have a ton of coverage, Shadow Ball, Giga Drain, Heat Wave, so it has a bunch of stuff that can hit, and it really is hard to prep against it. Heck, I even have another screen setter. You want to know how many screen setters I have? I have up to 4 or 3. I have Rotom Wash, Togekiss, Swoobat, I think Obstagoon 2 by accident, so 3 or 4 of them. So it's good just having a bunch of possible screen setters, which then I always try to get at least one of, but I have a bunch, which is great. And yeah, I'm really excited. Hey, look, another taunt user and U-turn. Look, a second chance at a turn core, at a Volturn core. So potential. Really, that's all I can say about it. I was thinking about getting Sigilith, but I wanted to do something different this time. I don't think I've really used Swoobat once in I had it on a team and just never used it. And maybe it might be this season where I might have to try something different because of the lack of Pokemon there are. Oh, I have Endeavor on top of that, so, you know, it all works out. On to the next Mon. And you know, I always want a fighting type whenever it comes to these rounds, and honestly, I could have gotten one in for T2, but thought, let's just do Ditto instead. So, with Throw, I mean, it was either this, or Grapple Locked, or Hitmonchan, and the reason why I didn't choose the other two is that with Hitmonchan and Throw, with Hitmonchan, it's different. It's like, I've used it before, and I really just think it's not going to do great for me. It doesn't have enough speed, or it doesn't have enough bulk to take certain hits. It may have priority, but I don't really need it in this generation to be good or win. And for Grapple Lock, it's literally built the same way as Throw is, except it doesn't have as much bulk, and it's a bit slower, and it does hit harder, better attack, but I have Guts, I have Mold Breaker, so I can hit more threats at once, and 120 base HP is great with this stat distribution. Yeah, 120 HP is nothing to laugh at. I mean, max that out, and that's basically 444. I'm taking hits all day. Not only that, I got great coverage with this Pokemon. You know, Rock Slide, Earthquake, Ice Punch. I think I get all the elemental punches, so I can hit whatever I need to hit. I don't get knockoff, I think. Yeah, knockoff's gone. But yeah, there's Fling, there's Payback. So if I need to use something, I can use it. Just Throw's gonna be pretty good for what I need for it as a defensive option that can take hits and hit pretty hard back. And Pokemon like these usually give me those types of wins. I've used Throw a couple times before and have struggled because I just didn't use it for the right reasons, but I can totally do it with this. Usually people prefer Sock, and I would too, because Sock's faster, hits harder, and has a great ability in Mold Breaker as well. But this thing has Guts, so if I could treat this Pokemon just like Conkeldurr without the priority. So yeah, that's really the only fighting type I would not have wanted, but really tier 3 is really just scraping at the bottom of the barrel to get something. And here we have our final pick of our PCBL 9 draft, Sandaconda. I was thinking about getting a ground type, but I'm not going to lie to you, my issues with picking one was that I didn't really think of one in the draft plan. Because I'm going to be honest, rounds 9 through 12 was something I didn't plan at all. Rounds 1 through 8 was sort of planned, but I did say before, 5 through 8 was where I perfectly planned what I wanted to get in the mid-round. And mid-draft is really important. That's where I get all the nice meaty pieces. And the first 4 is just seeing what floats around in our way, sadly after getting sniped. And the last 4 work the same way, unless I plan down to the round 10. But the last 2 are just like really hard to pick. And Sandaconda was a very tough option. Cool thing is it does get Stealth Rock, so we have a Hazard Setter. We have multiple Hazard Setters on this team, I think. No, we only have this one. It gets a lot of good moves. Outrage is crazy. It gets Iron Head, high horsepower. It gets Coil, Body Press on its defense. It's basically a more defensive option. I think out of my entire team, I don't think I have anything that's directly defensive. Rotom Wash can be physical or especially defensive. Duraludon's more physically defensive, but it has higher special attack for it to be useful. And Duraludon is basically like the Sandaconda of my team. Or the Sandaconda in the special sense, but this is Sandaconda of the physical sense. That did not sound right at all. And, you know, for defense, I don't really have that in a lot of them. Throw's kind of more of a mix of either defense that I want. Swoobat's more offensive. And when you think about it, it's almost even. But, yeah, it's more physical than special, that's for sure. Except for Toxtricity, it can be anything I want. But then it really just covers the whole ground issue, and I have easy defenses against hits, and the only types I lose to, Ice, which I think Ice only hits, what? Togekiss, Dhelmise, and Swoobat, and then my resistances are Rotom Wash, Cinderace, Durant. So yeah, it's 3 for 3, so we don't have a big ice issue, and it also kind of covers, and for grass, we cover the crap out of grass. We're fine. So yeah, that's really just this whole team in general. I could do a Coil set with Sandaconda. Sandspit's kind of useless to me, and we won't really need to use it. Shed Skin might be what I want to do. I could probably do a Coil Sleep Talk set, and that could do something. Or just Coil Rest. Because I think Coil's really good, because Coil, Body Press, Rest, and maybe a ground type move could do something. I could trade. Honestly, I think Sandaconda and Swoobat are, wow, really? God, I freaking hate, whatever. But, yeah, so that's really it in a nutshell for Sandaconda. We could trade it along with Swoobat later on. We'd only get it for other T3 picks. And T3, again, is a very sad tier in this draft. I really don't like it compared to all the others. So, I think overall this draft is actually pretty nice. Not really. It's a bunch of misfits put together, honestly. It's like the first 4 rounds of me just trying to see what sticks. The next 4 were perfectly picked, and the last 4 were just, why not? Or maybe, I guess? And not only that, the only ones I think are big cruxes of my team could be Cinderace, Obstagoon, Durant, and Toxtricity. So that's really just how I see it. I guess what I'm going to talk about later on now is probably just, you'll probably see more PCBL videos come up. I will do my best to put in weekly stuff. I also want to do coach reveals, but my thing is that I don't know if I want to split it into 2 videos for just the main 16 and then D-League, or 3 videos by doing each division alone. I might just do each division and get 3, more views that way, more content. You'll probably see another VGC video, but I mean, you will, maybe. I had to make another team though. And showdown wise, I think it's going to slow down. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.